Closed for business? It's day 10 of the government shutdown. Could there be a break? It's a mean green weekend and Apogee is front and center. We'll take you there live. And talk about a view. One Texas man got the ride of his life. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Katie Berlin.
And I'm Blaine Skiles. In what could be an 11th hour breakthrough, an unpleasant surprise for Denton residents, the city is reporting its first mosquito trap that tested positive for West Nile virus. The trap was in Robson Ranch just off I-35 West near Texas Motor Speedway. Officials say it's late in the season for West Nile and are telling residents to drain standing water where mosquitoes breed. Denton County will continue testing for West Nile through October 24th. And in what could be an 11th hour breakthrough, there is word of a compromise in the worsening government shutdown. There are still deep divisions between Republicans and Democrats, and late today, President Obama rejected a proposal to temporarily increase the nation's debt ceiling. That will allow the country to pay its bills. Secretary of the Treasury Jack Lew told Congress today there is no option. A compromise must be reached.
If Congress fails to meet its responsibility, it could deeply damage financial markets, the ongoing economic recovery, and the jobs and savings of millions of Americans. I have a responsibility to be transparent with Congress and the American people about these risks. And I think it would be a grave mistake to discount or dismiss them. I don't know how you could possibly choose between Social Security and veterans benefits, between Medicare and food assistance. These are obligations we've made. Our systems were not designed to not pay our bills. Our systems were all designed to pay our bills.
However, this political upheaval is far from over. The Republicans say they will support extending the debt ceiling until November 22nd. In exchange, they want the president to discuss cutting other spending programs. Although the president rejected that idea today, both sides are well aware of the critical need to develop some kind of compromise before the October 17th debt ceiling deadline. Meanwhile, President Obama says he is pleased there is progress in avoiding a government default. But all this wrangling has done nothing but anger Americans. A new CNN poll shows Americans are blaming both political parties for the impasse. According to the poll, 63% of people said they were angry at Republicans for the way they've handled the shutdown. Although more fingers are pointed at the GOP, the numbers show neither side is getting off scot-free. But regardless of public sentiment, the government shutdown continues into the 11th day.
The good news out of Washington was seen in UNT's Business Leadership Building today. You might have seen the stock ticker glowing green this afternoon. Stocks spiked once word of the shutdown might be ending. The Dow Jones rose 300 points, and both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 gained 2%. Major indices logged their second best gains this year. You know, Katie, it's so great to see such good news coming from the stock market.
I agree, and with that great news is paired with great weather, and Michael Casillas has more about that. Michael?
Well, Katie, as the weeks continue, as we head into the fall, we can definitely feel these temperatures continuing to drop as the weeks continue. Now, as we go and look at our current conditions, we're sitting at about 81 degrees with some slight winds blowing southeast at about 15 miles an hour. And it's a bit humid and sitting about 42%. Now, as we head into this evening, we are expecting a low of 66 degrees, and our wind speed should be about 15 miles an hour, blowing about south-southeast as well. Heading into tomorrow morning for your morning commute, about 8 a.m. we'll be at about 68 degrees, and we will have some slight wind blowing south at 11 miles an hour. Now, we do have a 20% chance of thunderstorms heading into tomorrow. I'll have more details on that, as well as our game day forecast, as the Mean Green prepare to take on Middle Tennessee State on Saturday evening. Blaine and Katie, back to you.
Thanks, Michael. We can't wait to see the game day forecast.
You know, and speaking of the game, Justin Brummett and Catherine Martinez are live at Apogee. Are you guys getting in some early tailgating?
Well, we're not getting too crazy just yet, but it is beautiful weather out here.
That's right. We are live at Apogee Stadium where so many events are taking place this weekend.
That's right, and one of those huge events is the Mean Green football game. They are 2-3 on the season, coming off 2 straight road losses, so we're hoping that being here at home will help change that.
You know, I think it will, because I have a feeling the stadium is going to be packed because it's family weekend. And I mean, we just have, you know, Mean Green tailgating as well as other extremely awesome events.
That's right, and we're going to have a whole lot more information later on in the newscast about those events. So Blaine and Katie, back to you.
Thanks, Justin and Catherine. It looks like they're having a lot of fun out there. Maybe we can check back in with them later. Coming up, some Universal Studio visitors got more of a thrill ride than bargained for.
And a warning tonight, check your refrigerator for bad chicken. We'll have more when we come back. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has had enough and is threatening the California-based company, Foster Farms, to suspend production if the company does not come up to code quickly. Foster Farms is at the center of a salmonella outbreak that has sickened nearly 300 people in 18 states, including Texas. The company has yet to issue a recall and has been slow to address how they plan to protect the public from further tainted chicken. The company has had multiple sanitation violations. The USDA is considering pulling federal inspectors in 3 plants, which would in effect cause Foster Farms to suspend production. Cabin pressure issues caused a Southwest Airlines jet to make an emergency landing in Houston last night. The jet was on its way from Austin to Florida when a problem was detected. A spokeswoman for the Dallas-based Southwest says that the jet landed safely and no one was hurt in the incident. The 140 passengers aboard the jet were moved to another plane and continued on to Florida. The jet has been taken out of service for inspection.
It's an ongoing story on every college campus in the nation, the use or misuse of alcohol. Earlier this week, reports of increased alcohol-related arrests at Texas Women's University sparked a crackdown on campus drinking. At UNT, alcohol was banned several months ago after problems at various Greek life organizations. A task force was created and developed 5 recommendations to combat the problems. They included increased mandatory alcohol education, holding Greek leaders more accountable, developing a public relations campaign of the positive aspects of Greek life, and create new staff positions to promote alcohol education and awareness. UNT Police Corporal John DeLong says the situation on campus has yet to improve.
Alcohol ban was for the fraternity houses, Greek life, to throw parties and stuff like that. They couldn't do it whenever the alcohol ban was going on. But whenever we did find out that there was parties over there, we referred those to the Dean of Students, and the Dean of Students did their educational alcohol awareness stuff with them to educate them on what they should and should not do because of the alcohol ban. But the severity of them, we haven't seen a significant change.
In August, the ban on alcohol at Greek life functions was lifted.
And another ban may be coming for the city of Denton. Most of us agree that using cell phones behind the wheel is dangerous. And while some states have banned the use of mobile devices while driving, Texas has not. But that isn't keeping city officials from asking whether or not residents favor a cell phone ban.
It's kind of a good idea, but at the same time, sometimes we use our phones as maps if we don't have a specific GPS already on our cars to get places.
In some ways, I agree with the ban because I've seen very often with distracted driving and what it can do, but I also feel like they're using phones as a scapegoat because there's many activities that people do in their cars while they're driving that can lead to distracted driving, like say eating. I've seen people reading while they're driving down the highway.
People should not be on the phone at all while they're driving, especially if they're holding onto it. Even with hands-free equipment, it can be a distraction.
I think it's kind of silly to make a ban. I think you should be able to talk on your phone while you're driving.
The safety for children, I mean, no children should be paralyzed for life just for one simple text message. You know, you gotta think of the safety of the kids.
We got enough car accidents. One held me up for about an hour over on I-35 because the 2-car pileup. Who knows, they might have been talking on the cell phone, but they didn't see that semi coming.
You can speak out on the possible cell phone ban too. Go to engagedenton.com to take part in the poll. You know, Blaine, I think it's great that the city is asking citizens before they possibly enact the ban.
Absolutely, Katie. And you know, one thing that Denton residents don't have any choice on is the weather. Now we're going to go back to Michael Casillas. What can we expect for Family Weekend, Michael?
Well, Blaine and Katie, you definitely shouldn't be looking at your cell phone while you're driving. You should probably take a look on the road and the skies ahead of you, especially heading to this weekend, because we do have a chance of some thunderstorms. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at our conditions this evening across the North Texas region. We're looking at 65 in Decatur, 65 in Wichita Falls, 63 in Gainesville, 66 here in Denton, and 66 Dallas, and 65 in McKinney. Now, across North Texas, we should have some partly cloudy skies, if not clear skies, throughout most of the evening. As we head into tomorrow, we're looking at highs in the 80s, 85 Denton, 85 Gainesville, 86 Sherman, 89 Wichita Falls, 87 in McKinney, and 86 in Rockwall, and 85 in Greenville. Now, with that being said, we can go ahead and take a look at our 5-day forecast. As we head into this weekend, we are looking at some thunderstorms, and even heading into next week. Heading into Friday and Saturday, we're looking at about 20 to 30% chance of storms. Heading into Sunday through Tuesday, the start of next week, we have a 50% chance of storms all week long. Temperatures should start in the mid-80s through the weekend, dropping into the high 70s as that front moves in, bringing in those thunderstorms heading into Sunday and Monday. And our lows, especially heading into Tuesday, are looking to drop, as you can see, at about 53 degrees heading into Tuesday. So again, your family should make sure you bring some umbrellas. You might want to bring some raincoats. Let them prepare as they go. And then also, I apologize, let's go and look at our game day forecast for this weekend as well. As the Mean Green prepare to take on Middle Tennessee State, we're looking at 80 degrees. We have that 30% chance of thunderstorms on Saturday as well. Some slight wind, and they should have a bit of humidity. Again, you might want to bring those rain pouches and umbrella as you watch Mean Green take on Middle Tennessee State this weekend. Blaine and Katie, back to you.
Thanks, Michael. Turning 90 years old is an achievement in its own right, but how can you hope to celebrate such a feat? Well, one Texas man jumped at the opportunity to make his birthday one to remember and hard to compare. Talk about a wild ride. Here's another one that wasn't quite what some people expected. At least 10 people at Universal in Orlando were left hanging helplessly out of a roller coaster when it malfunctioned. The Hollywood Rip Ride rocket coaster got stuck at the top of a track when a glitch caused the computers to go into safety mode. The riders surely felt anything but safe as they waited for the coaster to turn right side up again. Crews worked for 2 hours before freeing the ride, and while there were no physical injuries, that was one ride those people will never forget. That looks really scary. Katie, have you ever been stuck in a roller coaster before?
You know, out of all the rides I've been on, I've never been stuck, and I am thankful for that.
Yeah, and you know what I'm thankful for? Family Weekend this weekend. Want to know more about what events are taking place this family weekend? ntTV has the story.
And coming up next, find out how the Denton community is helping one of their own. Stay tuned. If you were on campus this weekend, you might hear and see UNT parents.
That's right, it's Parents Weekend, and Catherine Martinez is live at Apogee where most of the events are taking place. Catherine.
Hey, Katie and Blaine, Family Weekend officially starts tomorrow, and UNT has got quite the lineup for us. Family Weekend is an annual event that takes place where college students can invite their family members, their parents, as well as their friends to come experience the college life with them. Kicking off the fun is Scrappy's Extravaganza, which includes a family dinner and provided entertainment. Now, Saturday is jam-packed with events from a 5K run to an annual chili cook-off to Mean Green tailgating and, of course, UNT versus Middle Tennessee State football game. Ending the entertainment is a farewell breakfast on Sunday. Tickets for adults are going to be $55, and for students it will be free, so you're not going to want to miss this. For more information, be sure to check out transition.unt.edu/family-weekend/register. Back to you, Katie and Blaine.
Thanks so much, Catherine. Whenever one UNT student falls, the entire community comes together in support. Tonight we hear about the long journey of one UNT Eagle learning to fly again. Due to the severity of her injuries, there will be a swing dance benefit this Saturday, October 12th from 9 to midnight in the UNT Art Building. And if you don't know how to swing dance, there will be lessons starting at 8. For more information, you can visit northtexastelevision.com.
Looking for another way to spend your Saturday nights this month? UNT's Sky Theater is presenting a film called Bad Astronomy. It's exploring pseudoscience, were there really aliens on Mars or not? The film shows every Saturday at 2 and 8 p.m. and admission is only $3 for students and $5 for adults. So guys, if you're looking for an inexpensive date night idea, find out more information online at skytheater.unt.edu.
It never hurts to mix things up a little bit. And speaking of mixing things up, where is Justin?
You know, Justin is not in the studio with us today. Instead, he's at a place a little more interesting. Justin.
Right now? That's right, Blaine and Katie. I'm live here at Apogee Stadium, and coming up in sports, I'm going to tell you about the big game this weekend and the first chance that you can see men's basketball and women's basketball tonight here on campus. Stay tuned. The Mean Green are getting ready to take on Middle Tennessee State on Saturday night at 6 p.m. here on ntTV. They need a lot of help. They've had 2 straight losses on the road, and this could be a big step for them to hitting their 6 wins that they want to get. And they're going to be here live on ntTV at 6 p.m. And that's it for sports here at beautiful Apogee Stadium. Back to you at the desk, Blaine and Katie.
Thanks, Justin. Well, tonight is your last chance to get a little piece of the union. The UNT Alumni Association is having a silent auction tonight. Parts of the union will be auctioned and all proceeds will benefit the Alumni Association. The event is tonight at 7 in the Coliseum.
Wow, Katie, you think you're going to buy some of the union?
I'll think about it. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it out there. Thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
We're always covering North Texas online at northtexastelevision.com.
Have a good night.